What's up, my friends? We have gathered to open our second Brothers War pre-release kit. The first one was Urza's side. We opened that over on the Magic Historian. It's a pretty long, in-depth video, so this is going to be the companion piece to it, which means some of the cards that I saw in the first video, we're not going to talk about them the same way in this. So you're going to want to check them both out to get the full flavor review. That being said, let us take a look at the box for Mishra's side. Mishras, Burnished, Banner. You can see the toxic miasma in the background, and actually the two boxes create this little panorama that you can check out actually in the first video as well. And look at this, man. Look at this gigantic towering behemoth. These forces look intense. So let's tear the hazard strip and get inside. What does this one say? It says a malevolent menagerie of machines. Look at that. Okay, so they each have their own catchphrase. Oh, and the symbol is similar to the one that we saw yesterday, but different. All right, man, that's cool. It's got the green glowing weakstone vibe. I dig it. That's some good flavor. All right, now, we don't actually have to tear this thing apart to see what's on the inside, do we? Because it's probably the same as yesterday. We pop these out, and you can see in there that it is the same artwork that's here, right? Yeah, okay. It's a slightly smaller version of this artwork. So, I don't have to tear this one like we did. We're learning! So the counters inside are the same. The box, here's where we're going to see the difference, is the outer box, right? Oh, yeah, look at that construct, man. Mr. Firebelly, give him a tickle down there, but don't burn your fingers. All right, and we crack it open. What do we get? What does the die look like? So this one is yellow and black? This is weird. I thought it would be green and black like the other die. This is a strange choice, I have to admit. Shouldn't the dice be like black with green and red undertones, not green and yellow? Is this supposed to represent power stones? Oh well, whatever. It's not that big a deal. Just a curious flavor question that I have. Now, this is the thing that I was most curious about right here. What does the insert look like? Oh, yeah, they did the same kind of vibe, man. Mishras, Burnished, the Banner. And then down here, a malevolent menagerie of machines again. And look at that. You got Mishra up above his forces. Down here, you have the endless legions, right? Somewhere the Philology are probably mixed back in here as well. But up here, you have the original dragon engine that he brought back with him to Phyrexia. The full-on living dragon engine. Man, this is super epic. All right, that's great. So, insert looks like that. And our promo is an underground river. Look at that. Okay, not too shabby. Flavor text says, the war polluted the land, turning what been fruitful fields into fetid morasses of mud and rusted corpses. And you can see there's tons of constructs just littering the ground. This is really cool, man. I love the Brothers War stuff. So, let's see what's in booster number 1. So we're going to basically be just flying through cards we've already seen in the first video. I'm treating it as if they're working together, all right? So, we've got a Philology Archaeologist. This is a blue and 1 for a 0/3. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a non-creature, non-land card from among those cards milled into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter. Okay, this is like a new mechanic we're seeing where there's milling, and if you don't choose to do something with the milled card, you get to boost the creature instead. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward concept. You literally have a Philology who's digging up remnants of the past. That was a part of the Brothers War, so I can dig that. Then we've got a Philology Chain Dancer. 4 mana, 2/4. 2 mana to give it double strike until end of turn. All right, that's okay. She was eager to show the invading Yotians how she earned her name, the Sandstorm of Tomakul. So these are all just flavor fillers that give you visions of the different individuals that you would see in the Brothers War. Now, admittedly, you wouldn't see this lady right here. She would be eager to show the invading forces. Back in the original Brothers War story, they totally had the men went to war, the ladies hang back kind of thing, and Wizards had said, nah, we're changing that up. I assume that has to do with Teferi altering the timeline as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you want to be technical, this wouldn't be from the original story, but ultimately, who cares? Because it adds a bunch of flavor, and it's all like, oh no, they need to be cooking dinner. Like, that's, who cares about that, right? But since we're talking about all the flavor, I am pointing that out. Then we've got Perimeter Patrol. 3 mana, 3/3. Oh yeah, we saw this guy. We saw this dude. All right, we saw Skullflayer before, Survivor Coreless. Oh, overwhelming. I mean, I know we saw this before, but I love this story moment when Mishra basically bolts after Urza looks at him accusingly. Takei's just done for. Like, this is a crazy moment in the story. Absolutely wild. So cool to see it like properly represented in cards. Then we've got Lauren's Escape. We've seen that. Mineworker, Scrapwork Cohort, Yoshin Frontliner. I don't think we've seen this one. 1 mana, 1/1. When it attacks, another creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it unearths for 1 white. Okay, you know what? Some basic level Yoshin constructs for the front lines. This feels like it fits in 100%. This actually has more of the old janky vibe of the original Brothers War than like some of these newer, sleeker constructs. Then we've got Defabricate. This is pretty funky. This whole thing is just being blasted apart in one blow. 1 blue and 1 instant. Choose one. Counter an artifact or enchantment spell. If a spell's countered this way, it gets exiled instead of going to the graveyard. Or counter target activated or triggered ability. I was going to say artifact, but it's not. It's any. This is a really good uncommon. Like a legitimately strong uncommon with some awesome artwork. The way this construct is being just blasted apart, and you have the whole like crazy almost vortex of energy swirl behind. I love the fact that it's like lit up right behind where the light is hitting like the center of it, but then it's darker out towards the edges. That's enjoyable artwork. Then we've got Mishra, the Excavation Prodigy. 1 red and 2/2/1 haste Human Artificer. 1 and tap, discard a card to draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, add 2 red. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's strong. While Urza read books, Mishra learned to read the desert itself. I absolutely love this flavor text. Like, it's really hard to explain the differences between the characters just through flavor text, and this does a great way. This is a great way of showing it. Basically, Urza is somebody who is kind of uncomfortable with people, right? He's more reserved, he's more bookish. Mishra, on the other hand, is a more salt-of-the-earth, gregarious, like going out, hanging out with the people. So he becomes friends with the people of the desert. So the whole learning to read the desert is such a great way to put it. It's like they're both scholars in a way, but they have different ways of learning. It's super exciting. I really enjoy it. This is awesome. And the artwork of him working on a ornithopter is just real. This is really satisfying. All right, then we've got Hostile Negotiations. We talked about this in the first video. This is the crazy moment where the warlord basically betrays the peace talks and everything gets really crazy from there on in. After that, we've got a Soul Guide Lantern. All right, you know what? That looks really solid. The old border does a real good job of making this murky bog with the Soul Lantern look super epic. And a foil power plant worker. And then the token card. All right, so let's go. What else do we got? I'm hyped to see what else is lurking inside. Next up, we've seen you, we've seen you, we've seen you, you, and you. All right. Yeah, we saw that as well. Dreams of Steel and Oil. What a cool name. 1 black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. Then choose an artifact or creature card from the graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. Oh, funky. Flavor text says, Mishra's nightmares of Phyrexia rang with screams of agony and groans of twisted metal. The sound stayed with him long after he awoke. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, Gix whispered into Mishra's mind and told him of Phyrexia. And this artwork is absolutely incredible. Look at this, man. You have Mishra in this kind of like red nightmare vortex, and then in the center, you have this Phyrexian symbol just radiating light outwards as this central figure, and it's this white blazing light, and you can see it like illumining Mishra's eyes and also being like half of his hair or something, indicating, I don't know exactly what, but man, this artwork is evocative. And Dreams of Steel and Oil is such a cool way to phrase it. The flavor in this set, my friends, is off the charts. This is so good. Oh. Then we've got Suchi Caveguard. We saw that guy already. Pretty beefy. Levitating Statue. Talked about that. We got Blast Zone. I'm having a blast in this zone, yo. So we got a land that's when it enters the battlefield, it has a charge counter on it. Tap to add a colorless. Double X. Tap it, put X charge counters on it. 3 sack it. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on it. This is a really cool card. We saw this in War of the Spark. It's a great answer to a bunch of stuff, and it makes absolute perfect sense for the Brothers War set. What a great fit flavorfully. Look at the artwork, man. You can see, like, what is this supposed to be Teresia getting, or Teresia, sorry. Is this supposed to be Teresia City, the city of scholars, getting smashed down? Because this is epic. Then we've got a Sundering Titan, very nice. 8 mana, 7/10. Enters or leaves the battlefield. Choose a land of each basic land type and destroy those lands. This is a big hose bagger right here. This is awesome, man. And then just an insert. All right, next booster. Give me some more. Well, we're not going to be as long as we were with the first one, obviously, because we spent a lot of time talking about a lot of these cards. We saw you. Mishra's Onslaught. That's new, isn't it? 1 red and 3. Instant. Choose one, create 2/1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, or creatures you control get +2/+0 till end of turn. Alright, pretty straightforward. Flavor text says, ha! Urza has underestimated my strength yet again. They did act like this. They were two brothers who, like, ultimately underneath it, they loved each other and they had a sibling rivalry, and what happened turned out to be a really sad situation. This artwork shows a bunch of constructs running forward. The constructs don't feel like the original Brothers War in one way, but they basically up the epicness level, so I welcome this stuff, for real. What is this? Wasteful Harvest. 1 green and 2, instant. Mill 5 cards, put a permanent card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. And the flavor text says, once the brothers discovered the pristine island of Argoth, the war came down to who could plunder it faster. That's true, actually. They both were on either side of the island, just chewing it to pieces. And Titania's soul was just screaming out as Argoth was being chewed up. Man, this is awesome, bro. All right, then we've got a Carrion Locust. 3 mana, 2/1 flying insect horror. When it enters the battlefield, exile a card from opponent's graveyard. If it is a creature, that player loses a life. Okay, I don't remember any of this in the story, so it's just like filler bug. Then we've got a Disenchant. Oh, is this Richard King Ferguson? What? 1 white and 1 instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Been since the beginning of the game. 1 down. Several thousand more to go. All right. Yeah, I mean, wait. What's going on in the artwork? What is going on in this artwork? You got a construct here who's being blasted by a construct ray. This is awesome. Richard King Ferguson is my favorite artist in Magic. He's like the best. His artwork is wild and crazy and so incredibly distinctive. All-time favorite, man. This is funky. This lends more credence to my theory that Teferi went back and muddled with things, actually bringing Magic earlier. All right, Scrapwork Rager, we saw you. We saw the Dig Site. Awesome. So many good story cards. We got Prison Sentence. 1 white and 2. This is an enchantment aura. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 2. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Pretty straightforward style prison card, except it does add on the scrying 2. War prisoners were ineffective political pawns, as neither brother cared enough to trade for them. That's true. They didn't care about any kind of politics or any of that, really, when it came to any of it. I'm not sure what this artwork is originally going to be used for, because this, like, look at this animal, like, roaring in the cage. This feels like repurposed artwork that was not meant for the Brothers War, but they're like, just put it in there and say, neither brother cared. And it's like, that's why it wasn't part of the story. Then we've got a Scatter Ray. 1 blue and 1 instant. Counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4. So it's a limited style mana leak. Okay. Mishra's army demanded the secrets of the third path. Hercule's followers graciously showed them. Yeah, this totally says to me that Teferi went back and taught magic earlier, because Hercule's followers didn't have this magic. This is way more epic than what happened. Basically, these constructs showed up and mowed everybody down. It wasn't like, kablow, take my magic milk to the face, you stupid robot. Go back to your mech animes. You got blue milked. Welcome to Star Wars. All right. Then we got a Monastery Swift Spear. We saw that. That's pretty funky. 1 red, 1/2 haste prowess. This is a reprint. People love this thing because it's a powerhouse, right? Not too shabby. Then you've got Thopter Mechanic. We talked about that one already. You got a Combat Thresher, 7 mana, 3/3. Oh, this is the double strike. Yeah, we talked about this guy too. Over the Top. Yeah, that's how I like it. 2 red and 5 sorcery. Each player reveals a number of cards from the top of their library equal to the number of non-land permanents in control, puts all permanents they revealed this way onto the battlefield, and puts the rest into the graveyard. What? Oh, that's crazy. That's a lot of fun, bro. That's a cube card hardcore. I wish this box was mine, man. Oh, awesome. That's great. And then you got a bone saw. Wow, that's pretty underwhelming. I mean, sure, whatever, I guess. And then a mountain looking pretty sweet, bro. Look at that. Oh, the top of it's blowing up. There's a dragon engine up there. Yeah. Oh, what's up? What's up, Yoshin Soldier token? That's legit. He's got them weird ass bug eyes. Goofy. Okay, what's next? I love magic cards. Yes, I do. Okay. No. Let's find stuff we haven't seen yet. No, we saw you. Depth charge Golem, we saw you. Look at this thing, man. You gotta wait. Oh, it's 3 mana untap. Last time we looked at this, I was saying it was 9 mana untap. Yeah. Still don't like it. Still don't like it. Okay, we got Keeper of the Cadence. We are going to... Oh, wait. Yep, we saw this guy already, too. Battlefield Butcher. Yep, saw you. Spotter Thopter saw you. Hey! It's the Might and the Weak Stone! 5 mana legendary artifact Power Stone. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. Draw 2 cards, or target creature gets -5/-5 till the end of turn. Tap it to add 2 colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, but you can use it for anything else. Act and evade abilities, whatever you want to do. There we go. We got the 2 halves of the Power Stones. Man, I love it. I love it. I mean, there was never a point in the story where we saw them like this, but them being depicted like this is awesome. The fact that it counts as a Power Stone is dope. The fact that you've got one side to represent, like drawing 2 cards, make yourself mightier. -5/-5, make something else weaker. Might and Weak Stone. Flavors on point, right? And it's also a Flippy McDippy. This is the bottom half of Urza. Take a look at Urza's fat bottom, boys. Okay, then we got Pristine Talisman. It's all right. We got a Foil Swamp. Look at that. That looks nice, man. That looks nice. All right, and we got a Power Stone token. Cool. More cards. More cards, friends. More. All right, we saw you and you and you. Beep, 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 beep. I think we've... Oh, wait, hold on. We haven't seen all of them yet, have we? Have we seen this? Power Stone Fracture looks new. 1 black and 1 sorcery. As an additional cost, you have to sack an artifact or a creature, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Oh, wow. That's not too bad, actually. Move! When the Power Stone blows, that behemoth bolt will be nothing but a hole in the ground. Ashnod to Hajar. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, flavor text referencing Ashnod just talking to Hajar. Like, I like Ashnod a lot, man. I like Hajar too. Oh, there's so many cool characters in the story. I wish we got a Rusko card. I guess that's never going to happen. All right, then we got Supply Drop. 3 mana artifact with flash. When it enters the battlefield, a creature you control gets +2/+2 till end of turn. 4 mana, sack it, draw a card. Okay. All right. It's like, okay, you know what, dude? As an old person, I actually get this. New armaments, fresh provisions, and best of all, dry socks. Dry, clean socks are a luxury. You will know that you're an adult when you finally start to appreciate having, like, clean, dry socks. That's when you've moved into being both more boring and smarter. All right, then we've got an Airlift Chaplain. I'm going to yell at you. All right, 1 white and 2 for a 1/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You can put a plains or a creature with mana value 3 or less from the ways milled this way into your hand. And if you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So, pretty underwhelming. Yelling about I got a big old bottle of juice. Who wants to drink it? Then we got Hoarding Recluse. Oh, we saw this fat-bodied spider already. Goblin Blast Runner. 1 red, 1/2. +2/+0 and has menace as long as you sacked a permanent this turn. Most goblins can light a fuse and run, but only the cleverest remember to drop the bomb. Yeah, that's true. All right, so I mean that's why he survives, I suppose. That's all right. I mean, if you're sacking permanents, then it's okay. It doesn't get it for like each permanent though. So 1 or 7 permanent sacrifice just equals +2/+0. Then we've got Third Pass Iconoclast. We saw that guy. Then we got Philology Dragon Engine. We saw that. That's super cool. And then we've got Recruitment Officer. 1 white for a 2/1. Pay 4 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card mana value 3 or less from among them. Put it into your hand. This is solid. This is a really good card. And they're really pushing soldiers in the Brothers War set, making them something to be reckoned with. So, pretty solid. And the artwork shows just what it is. Somebody's recruiting others. That works. Okay. Oh, we got the Stone Brain. So, apparently, this has something to do with the storyline of Greensleeves. Now, I never got far enough along in the storyline to learn about what it was, but this is an artifact powerful enough that it had to be kept away from the brothers, when I originally thought that this was something that was just thrown into the set. I thought at first this was like repurposed artwork or something like that, but it's actually a reference to the Greensleeves story, and I have those novels and I'm going to be reading them to get further along, but at this point, this is just a curiosity to me. It's very cool. 2 mana, 2 untap it, exile the Stone Brain, choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, library, and hand for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles them, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Oh, crazy. It's like a weird variation of Jester's Cap, but it costs less to put out, but the person can end up drawing, or you can use it on yourself. All right, you can remove somebody's few win cons, or you can help yourself. Neat. All right, and then we've got a Rune Chanter's Pike in the old border. That's okay. That's not too shabby at all. And a Soldier Token. Now, let's finish off strong and not finish off wrong, friends. What do we got? We got Mightstone's Animation. Cool, I haven't seen this. 1 blue and 3 enchantment. When Mightstone's Animation enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted Artifacts is a creature with base power and toughness 4/4 in addition to its other types. Cool! Oh, yeah, bro! And it's animating a metal spider. This happened in the story where Urza used his Mightstone to animate a metal spider wreck. And oh, yeah! It shows Urza with the Mightstone infusing. Yes! Okay. I said finish off strong, and we're gonna. Conscripted Infantry. 1 red and 2 for a 3/1. When it dies, make a 1/1 soldier artifact creature token. All right. That's okay. Yeah. We got a Rust Goliath. This is a 10 mana 10/10. Ooh. Prototype for 5 mana for a 3/5, and it has reach and trample. Fat Beefy Boy. This thing's bigger than the Colossus of Sardia, though, so kind of messes with the story of the Brothers' War when they're like, he had one gigantic thing he brought over. By the way, there was a bunch of these just kicking around everywhere. They were super common, like, really? And then you've got Goring Warplow. We already saw that guy. We've got, yep, we saw you. 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 Oh, what's this? Involuntary cooldown. Yep, we've seen that. Go for the throat. I always do. 1 black and 1 instant. Destroy target non-artifact creature. When Titania offered peace, Urza merely turned her down. Mishra made her people pay for the insult. You know what? It's funny because they're not wrong. Basically what happened was Urza sitting like Urza's son Harbin is there negotiating with Titania. I mean, they're taking liberties, right? Like Urza was kind of not even there. It was Harbin who was handling the negotiations, his son. And Mishra did show up with his crew. And Mishra just basically, when Titania sent an envoy out, Mishra was just like, destroy it, and just wiped it out, right? Because he's already a Phyrexian at this point. So Titania ends up screaming and her face shatters into pieces while Harbin's there. He's surrounded by all these people in Titania's court, and he had just told her that he wasn't going to bend to her will. Right before this happened, she's screaming out in pain, and Harbin's sitting there like, oh no. I'm alone in enemy territory, surrounded by all these guys, and this is happening to her. Are we about to get wiped out? Like, it's a crazy moment, man. It's awesome. Look at that artwork, too. That's crazy cool. Look at the tree being cut off. Oh, this is neat. All right. Then we've got Battery Bearer. 4 mana, 3/4. Creatures you control have tap, add a colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. And whenever you cast an artifact spell, mana value 6 or greater, draw a card. She always leads the charge. Ba-dum-ching, she got a bag full of batteries for you. There you go. Brotherhood's End. 2 red and 1 sorcery. Choose one. Brotherhood's End deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. Those are some good options. You know what I mean? And then the flavor text says, the brothers' rivalry escalated into an all-out enmity, and Takasia paid the price. Oh, this is such an insane moment. Mishra has showed up in the middle of the night to try and steal Urza's stone, but he doesn't manage to do it, and Urza wakes up, and they get into this epic battle. This happens inside of Urza's cabin. I don't know if it's showing them outdoors here or whatever, but they're inside Urza's cabin when this happens. And Takasia ends up trying to intercede between the two of them, with the with the blast going on as a result. So what happens is there's a massive explosion. The cabin gets blown to pieces. Takasia is just she loses her life there. You know, the one where we saw Mishra running off, that's after that, because he's guilty about Takasia losing her life. And this is the beginning of the schism between the two brothers, because Mishra will run off into the desert and then they will never reunite. It's a tragic story. I really love seeing the key elements of it put onto cards this way. This set is extremely gratifying. All right, and then we've got a millstone. We actually talked about that before. We've got a foil ravenous mole. We talked about how underwhelming the mole boy is. And then a power stone token, ending off with a power stone. Just like the Brothers War does. I just need 2 of these stapled to my face as my eyes. And I can be Urza too. My friends, I loved this. Thanks for coming and hanging out.